Okay. Anna, do you want to say anything or for
Well,
GDG?
welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. We have very special guests, which you can see on the stage. We have Christopher Patno, who is the head of accessibility at for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Is that correct,
Yep.
Christopher?
And
And
disability inclusion.
Wendy? Yes.
Accessibility and disability inclusion. It's an important balance.
Very important. Thank you. And Wendy, she's been an advocate for accessibility as well. And Wendy, please tell us more about your new role that you started recently.
Uh, Um, I work at Kantar, and in my journey of for accessibility, um, began collecting some educational materials, interacting with people, and starting our journey to um, accessibility through more of a universal look at human need, and of course, including disability, which I say in the same breath is just as important. So I can get us moving. First, before I begin, for anyone who requires or is just interested in using live captions on on the invitation for the Google Developer Group, we have instructions how to turn the live events on by opening this in Google Chrome. And I will just also read them at the top right, click the three dot ellipsis and then settings. And at the bottom of settings, click advanced. And under accessibility, you can turn on live caption. And again, this is written on the invitation to this event. And now that I've introduced myself, I'd also like for anyone using assistive technology just to give a verbal description of myself. I'm a middle-aged woman and I have long red curly hair. I have dark rimmed glasses on and I'm wearing a white top with dark thin stripes and dark sweater on top, and I have just a white wall behind me. Um, and I'd like to introduce our guest giving our talk for today. Um, Christopher leads Google's efforts around accessibility of products, people, for both Googlers and end users, and partnerships. And he has more than 25 years experience in tech working at companies like Apple, Sony Ericsson, and Disney, where he's built hardware, software, and services. And his current passion is accessibility. So please, if I can hand it over to you, Christopher. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this wonderful event. Happy GAAD to everybody. Can someone please confirm that you can see my screen? I see a
I
yes.
can.
Brilliant. Let's do it, everybody. So what I'd like to talk with you about is something that this is a presentation that I share regularly, and it's something I truly believe is the idea of inclusion and accessibility. To build it inclusively is to build with accessibility. So just before I start, so you know where I'm coming from. I spent, as she said, I spent 10 years at Apple, 3 years at Sony Ericsson, and even a year at Disney where I was making games. And I've now been at Google for 10 years, and it's been quite a ride. But it was here at Google's when I learned what accessibility was, because my product wasn't accessible. I was the lead technical program manager for Google Play Music, and one day we had a test engineer come into our meeting. She grabbed her iPhone. Yes, we make for iPhone. Turned on VoiceOver, and I heard button, 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 button. I asked, "What's that?" And she said, "This is Google Play Music for someone who's blind." I said, "Well, that's stupid. How do they use it?" She said, "That's why I'm here." That was my introduction to accessibility. I can't say that I thought it was taken care of. I had no idea, never thought of it. And I realized within a couple of months what a really interesting design challenge and opportunity to do good, and an opportunity to do really interesting engineering. So I volunteered to take on accessibility for the Google Play suite of products. Spent a couple of years in Daydream and Cardboard, but I joined the central accessibility team about 5 years ago, where I was responsible to make all of our products accessible. And I did this by building partnerships internally and helping all the different organizations inside Google understand the need and value of accessibility. And a year ago, I moved here to London. It's now 5:10, beautiful sunny day in London. And yes, that happens too. And I'm leading accessibility, disability inclusion to understand what disability means in places like the Middle East and Africa, because it's different. And what people's lives are like are different. The technical expectations are different. So we are here to get this understanding, bring it into Google so we can make our products better and our platforms better. So people who want to make their own solutions can do so using our tools. Enough sales talk. Why does Google care about accessibility? Well, simply, it's part of our mission statement to make the world's information universally accessible and useful. And what I mean by this is universally accessible is that we don't expect users to have to adapt what they do to be able to use our products. And our goal is to make the products and the real world accessible. And we do this with things like artificial intelligence. And through these tools, we can have enriching experiences both on and off the device, like Google Maps as well as Lookout. And why is this important? This is GAAD Day. I'm sure everyone here knows these stats. 1 billion people in the world, with more than 1 billion people in the world with self-identified disabilities, up to 7.9 billion people in the world. That's a lot of people. And every one of us, if we're lucky enough to get old, are going to have some experience with disability. I myself am dyslexic. I know people who never experienced a problem in their lives until they had to get glasses, or these contextual or situational disabilities could impact all of us. And as we design products, and if we keep these kind of disabilities in mind, we can make something that's truly delightful. You never have to think about using it because it's always there for you. So for me, this is the magic of accessibility, is creating something that is truly delightful and helpful for everyone at all times. And to do this, we have to build inclusively. I've got a secret. I've built products for 25 years, and there's always a choice that has to be made. You're always going to have an opportunity to choose one thing or another. There's an intentional exclusion of how you think about this, because there's always going to be a constraint on your project. There's always going to be the need to focus on something, whether you have to fix this bug or that bug. But as one gets started, until this becomes sort of until it becomes part of your DNA, accessibility and inclusion needs to be recognized as a constraint you can't stop doing. And it always it's our job to keep it above the line. This is an old program manager talk. If you've 10 things that you can do and 5 things that you can and 5 things that you can't, there's a line that gets drawn. So when I say above the line, is to make sure that you're always prioritizing accessibility, inclusion as you're making these choices. Because if you don't, you're going to have a situation like mine. Button, 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 button. It even impacts hardware. Look at this old Samsung phone where they have the fingerprint sensor off to the right. Or if you can't see it, there's a fingerprint sensor off to the right with a camera sensor and then a flash. The problem was people were actually getting the camera sensor all mucky with their fingers because they're trying to reach for the fingerprint sensor. Not great for lefties or for your photos. But with planning, with intention, you can create an accessible experience. Menu, button, search, button, home screen, one of 2. So your content can be accessible. On hardware, you can make your hardware better. There's a photograph here of 2 Samsung phones where the fingerprint sensor is underneath, below the camera lenses. And what's even better is there's this sort of tactile, ridged area, so you always know where to put your finger. So when you're intentional, you can create something that's great for everyone. But how do you do this? Let me tell you. The way I think about it, there's 3 key strengths. The first is leverage your strengths. Do what you're good at. At Google, for example, we do a lot of work with artificial intelligence. So naturally, we're going to go in and lean into that space because it's where we think we can have the most good. Then, key thing is nothing about us without us. Always include the community. Hire them, co-design with them, test with them, listen to them after you ship your products. It's critical that you don't not build for someone, but with and for someone. And finally, if that gets too scary, there's so much stuff. How do you get started? Start with one. Start with one person, start with one problem. The most important thing is that you just get started. So I want to talk about two pieces of technology that we have at Google that sort of represent these things. The first is a new thing. It's called Project Relate, and this is one of the most exciting projects for me inside Google. The problem it tries to solve is speech recognition does not work well today when people have a speech condition like ALS or even just a deaf accent. So let me show you a bit of a video. And please, someone let me know if you can't hear the sound, and then I can sort of talk. I'll just talk through it instead. Can you hear this? I have captions here on as well.
No.
No. Would you like to have it with the captions or just have me talk about it? Okay.
I'm good with caption. Okay.
So the crux of it is machine learning is always based on data. And it's really important to have data that represents the users you want to support. So typical speech data stores don't have people with disabilities in them. So what we do with Project Euphonia and Project Relate is we work with the community to get access to voice samples so we can create voice models that allow people to use the technology that's most impactful. Let me fast forward to one spot here, and I'll let the captions do the work here. But for me, this is a nice visual of what this gets to do. So this project is really powerful. It is utterly life-changing whenever you need to use your voice and people can't understand you. It is a project now. It is released here. I'm assuming I say here meaning New York, not here in England. And it's released in English, and we're trying to work with people who want to have their own voice model. So this is one of the things I'm most excited about. So this is an opportunity for us to do what we're good at. This is an opportunity for us, nothing about us without us. And I'll show you a picture right here. The fellow on here is left. His name is Dimitri. He's the person who created Live Transcribe, but he's also the person who was the first person to use this Project Relates to create his own voice model. So here's also an example of start with one. We started with him and his voice, talking through hundreds, if not thousands of words until we created a model that met his needs. Next, I want to talk about captions. And a core part about this is you are never done when it comes to accessibility. It is a language of progress, not perfection. In 2009, we added our first automatic captions to YouTube, and it wasn't great. But what we realized is something that's not great is still a whole lot better than nothing of perfection. So we continue to evolve it and continue to make it better and better. And today we have 13 different languages for YouTube with high quality automatic captions. In 2016, we added captions to Google Slides and Google Hangouts. And in 2019, we added free captions to everyone using Google Meet. And today we have English captions, French, German, Portuguese, Spanish, Mexican Spanish, and also Spanish. And just recently, we've even added the ability to translate from English into Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. So as we continue to learn and refine, we're expanding the features of our products. Here's one set of captions. But what I want to talk about is captions on mobile, in particular, Live Transcribe. What Live Transcribe does is it provides captions over 80 different languages, and you can reply by typing. We built this in conjunction with many in the deaf and hard of hearing community. And as the more we worked on this, the more we realized that there's more awareness that could be made. So we started adding a contextual awareness, like when someone says your name, we can vibrate or have a little message up here on your Android watch. Or if there's a baby crying, we can let you know if these important things happen. It was invented by these two people, Dimitri on the left and Chet on the right. And they made this over a weekend because they wanted to work together better. Just gorgeous. Then we realized that's really cool having captions for the things around you, but what about the things on your device, on your phone? So we went through the effort of shrinking down the voice model from something that lives inside the cloud into something that can fit on your phone. And now everything on your phone can have captions. Every audio source, every video that someone sends to you, every social media post that doesn't have captions already, we can provide it for you. But finally, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you this because you can't hear it, but what happens is we've even taken this one step farther. So now you're going to actually have phone calls. So this is going to be a story of a man here in London who had his very first phone call with his son because of the captions on the Google Pixel phone. And it's a profound story. It makes me cry every single time I see it. And we recently just added the ability for someone who is nonverbal. Matthew here is verbal. For someone who's nonverbal, we now can use speech to text and text to speech to be able to go back and forth and have a conversation with someone. Just brilliant. So come back into the perspective of where we are in terms of how do we wrap this up? How do I make my products better? How do I think about this? And it's leverage your strengths, do what you're good at. Nothing about us without us. Build with and for people, not just for them. And then start with one. Start with one person, start with one problem, build up your expertise, build up your solution, and make it better and better and broader and broader. This is a conversation of progress, not perfection. But the most important part is just get started. Thank you. So I can do like 3 or 4 minutes of questions, but then I really have to run.
Yes. So I'm just going down to see what we have.
No questions. Everyone's asleep. I'm sorry. Hope it was a good nap.
Well, I have a question for you. Thank you for sharing your personal story on what brought you into this. I find most people have a personal story that really ignites their passion. Many people who come and listen to talks like yours have a personal story themselves, but don't know the importance of them working in software. So talking to our young professionals, talking to our software, do you have any advice about, how they start the conversation?
The best way I've found to get people to come with you, if you're already passionate about it and you're having a hard time bringing people with you, tell stories, show videos. I was really impressed one day. A woman on my team, we were in Zurich and we were showing a website, and she pretended that she had to change her flight. We were having a lecture with the Google Flights, and I just need to check in. Let me go do this right now. And she walked us through the user journey of someone who's blind on the website, and we got stuck. This is before we had fixed it, and you could see the engineers go, "Oh, it's over there. Oh God, it's over," and physically uncomfortable. And after that kind of deep connection of this product that you're building, that you're passionate about, having someone can't use it, it was really, really inspiring, and they very quickly turned the product around, and now it's quite good. They've done a good job in making it significantly better. So stories really help an awful lot. Recognize what motivates the people on your team. Are they Like I'm thinking like leadership here. Like, are they motivated by lawsuits? Are they motivated by the stories of doing good for people? Find out how you can speak the language of your leadership, align our message to their language. It's a little manipulative, but we're doing it for the good reasons here. But take our message, speak their language, and you have a much better chance of really having an impact in terms of changing the culture in the area.
That's great. We do have someone who typed a question in, if I can quickly ask. Is there any thought to American Sign Language over to this?
It's hard. ASL is so hard. Um, it's because finger spelling is easier, still hard, but
Hmm.
easier. Then you have to deal with things like occlusion. So you have to have a camera recognize if I'm doing something like this. So when your hands go in front of each other, that's harder to recognize. And then you have to match your hands and your face. So now you have to map the face. And then you have
Yes.
Z depth because time. And this is
Hmm.
just in terms of trying to understand what's being said.
Hmm.
Now the next hard part is the data source. How do you get a canonical source of sign language for any language, whether it's ASL, BSL, ISL?
Right.
So creating a canonical data set that allows a machine learning algorithm to be trained on it, that gets really hard. And
Yeah.
that's where the challenge really is. Occlusion can be solved, phases can be solved, but having a really good source of data to create a really
Hmm.
good algorithm, that's a lot harder than you would expect.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can't just go
And
to YouTube for it either.
right. But I can see a future of artificial intelligence with it, though, being able to learn an individual, just like you started with one person's voice to learn words. So let me just check one more thing. Somebody's
There was a
typing.
very quick question I could answer. Ralph asked a
Yeah.
question about a similar
Okay.
like voice access being added to Chrome on desktop. It's called
Yeah.
Chromevox. It's there today. Take a look at it. It's part of the accessibility menu. And last question
Okay.
is, do you have any recommendations how to gain experience or have projects? A great place to get experience is volunteering. So volunteer, get some skills. The IAAP has some really interesting courses, and the information is free. To get the certification, you have to pay, but that's actually a really great place to get information. Volunteer for people who wants to do it. Identify a problem, or just reach out to someone. Say, hey, listen, your product isn't accessible. Can I help you? There's a lot. People don't mind free support.
Right.
Well, listen,
And
I
reach
have
out
to
to,
run.
yes. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, it's my
We
pleasure.
appreciate your presence with us today, Christopher. Good luck on
It
this
was my
important
pleasure.
Yes.
stage.
Thank you so much.
And
Wendy, thank you for reaching out. It's such a
Yes.
pleasure. And Anna, it was
Yes.
great to
We'll
meet
be
you. And
in touch. Yep.
everybody,
Okay.
happy GAAD. Keep going. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
have a great day.
I wanted to say to
Thank
the
you,
person who
Wendy.
asked about having a career in accessibility, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Siema, um, please, I guess I can put my email in the chat, and please feel free to reach out to me to learn more about careers. And I don't know if there are any other questions. We really wanted to spark some inspiration in people and bring the awareness that this is everyone's responsibility, like how you probably used to hearing with security, it's everybody's responsibility. But so is considering and having the empathy for everyone who has obstacles in the digital world. And
There is a question about education.
yeah,
That's
education
a great
funding.
question.
Is Google working on making education accessible to everyone? I think I would say yes. I don't need
I
to speak
actually
for
do
Google.
have announcement.
Yeah.
I do have an announcement for that. Not that I speak for Google, but if everyone is aware, Google recently came up with a bunch of certificates that are recognized as equivalent to 4-year degree. There are different ones released so far. The latest one is for e-commerce. There's one on project management. There is one for IT. There is one for data analytics, and they recently made them absolutely free. So any company can request up to 500 of those certificates to be distributed to their employees, absolutely free. The courses are on Coursera, and the big benefit is that you can be hired by Google, or Google works with a big group of corporations who are part of this program, who accept this certificate as valid um, step into entry level job, and they basically give you jobs after you complete one of these. And it's an intense course that is actually equivalent of a 4-year degree, all created
Oh,
by Google. Definitely look that up. So that's one step. And then, of course, here we at GDG are gonna um, be creating a course to get Google Cloud certified. Google looks to get 40 million people certified, because the cloud is unlimited, but the skills are limited currently. And they do need that many people in order to scale this fast growing, fastest growing field, where basically any company can benefit from being in the cloud, whether it's been legacy corporation for 20 years or a startup being born today. There is zero question that you can use the cloud and cut your costs immensely and just focus on your business. So these are areas where obviously education is very accessible and free.
okay. Well, I don't see any other questions, so I don't know if we
I
want
want to give
to.
shout out to
Okay.
Tyson, who is a GDG organizer. Tyson, would you like to say a few words and come on the stage? Uh, Let me see. Or anybody else, if you'd like to uh, uh, be in a presenter mode and share your thoughts, or anything else, you're welcome to. Oh, Andrila wants to ask a question. One moment. So you should be in a presenter mode now, Andrila. Oh, here's Tyson. Hi, Tyson.
Hello,
You
how are
can
you?
unmute yourself. There you are. Thank you for joining. And Andrila, also, if you'd like to enable your camera or your mic, you can do that.
Ah,
And anyone else, please say so in the chat. We want to bring anyone on the stage. How are you, Tyson? Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for joining today. Um,
really? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think it's very
Oh, I think he locked
at
me.
Google and accessibility.
Sorry, you
Um,
broke up there for a second. Could you repeat?
yeah, I think it's hmm, um is this better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to say thank you guys. Definitely Anna, but also thank you guys too, and also because of uh Google for accessibility. Um, I think what that was 3.5 years. I actually did my longboard, and I have a helmet, but I didn't do it, and I was going down the hill, and it was probably 30 miles an hour, and it was not good. The helicopters and 5 weeks in the coma, water in the lungs and ARD. But then I'm here, and I think it's good. Well, I guess in there though it was definitely because of aphasia, and I didn't know. But even now, I'm doing for the doctors for speech, and it's good because they're doing that. But then I think it's good because I'm trying to do that too, just in my house. So I wanted to say, IPA or
I think he's locked again. Tyson, if you could
Tyson,
hear us. Yeah, you froze again. Sorry. Network issues.
let me see
Oh,
this.
there he is.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
Yeah.
I got the thing here. So, oh wait, let me see. Oh, actually, I thought it was another one. I thought it was another one, but I could do that one. Um,
Oh, I wish I could hear Tyson's story. He keeps freezing. But he
I
did
know.
say he's
I think
learning Flutter, which is
mm,
amazing. Flutter
yeah,
got big developments announced at Google I/O, Flutter 3,
yeah,
where you can reach 6 platforms from one code base. That's amazing.
yeah,
Great,
yeah, yeah,
thing you're doing there, Tyson, is going to be in big demand.
yes,
And
yes.
then Andrila is here. Hi, Andrila. That's a great Google Cloud shirt. What would you like to share with us today? Can you hear us?
Well, we may
No?
be having
You
network
can
issue
enable
all
your
around.
camera and mic if you wish. You're on mute right now, but you're welcome to uh, join the conversation if you wish. Siema was very happy also to be here. Um, Yesterday, Wendy shared she wishes to reach at least one person. I think we did more than that today.
Yes.
Right, Wendy?
Yes, if one person can become more aware of something they didn't know. So,
I found that I also found the presentation great. I wanted to
mm,
add that for any website, um, it's very important to have, of course, to support all the um, over 1 billion people that have some kind of disability, but that also once you go with accessibility in mind first, your site ranks better in Google search because Google search can understand your site better if you have alt tags. You've seen also on Twitter now the alt tag is now public. Everybody can
mm,
easily click on an image. So now I take extra time to put alt tags on all my Twitter images, including some
hmm
tweets from today. I
yeah,
can actually
yeah,
share the tweet that I posted today from the GGG. So it doesn't require extra time as anything, but there are many, many benefits for people. But
hmm
for your own site to rank better, you'll get free organic traffic. So that's a good reason that you can get a more buy-in from that point of view that it's actually going to bring you revenue, really. Um, oh, look at this awesome picture Tyson has with that looks like a Google office or something
Hmm.
like that. That's the
Hmm. Hmm.
sign. That's awesome. I wanna know where that is.
Oh,
Oh,
he's back.
Tyson, hi, you're back.
Hey guys, is it better
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay. Oh no, not that one. I thought there was
Oh,
another
I
one too.
realized her mic isn't working.
I
So is
hear
it
him.
good now though?
Where is that? Yes, please continue your story and tell us where the GDG picture is from that's on your profile.
Oh, see, this is what happened last time. As soon as he starts to talk, it like seems to take 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and it locks up again.
Oh, that's
I
unfortunate, but
know.
that's the reality of virtual world.
I think
That's why
he
we
switched.
are meeting in person. We are meeting in person next week. Google I/O is coming to New York City in person.
Mm,
Of course, we're going to be much like Google I/O. It's going to be virtual if you're not in New York. But if you are in New York, if you're vaccinated, we are going to have a huge space at Samsung 837 right next to Google's office. It's space for 300 people where you can socially distance very safely. So I invite you all to join. We're going to have a lot of sessions. We can You can meet myself or Wendy will be there, and
mm,
then amazing speakers. You must have seen the page already on the GDG, but let me share the page again. So that's gonna be definitely incredible event. Wendy already shared the very founder of Android, but also many more speakers. We're gonna cover AI, the face of TensorFlow. Jason Mace will be there. We're gonna have the Wonder Woman herself. She's a also a software engineer at Google. Gonna talk about Angular. We are going to have super panels for everything Android. We're going to cover Flutter 3. Roman, who is a fellow mentor for Northeast GDG and uh, Google Developer Expert in Flutter, is going to cover everything new. So I highly encourage you to sign up for this. And here is the page. Wendy, what else would you like to share about
um,
this important topic and day? And like Christopher said, every day is we're marking it today. Siema is asking, is there going to be more events like this? Well, Wendy, let's start the series if you want. It's up to us.
yeah, there are always talks going on about accessibility, but it tends to be people who are personally involved with disability and trying to bring the awareness to the non-disabled community to say that we all face obstacles. Our biggest obstacle for um, people with an unrecognized disability themselves within themselves was having COVID and everybody being isolated at home. And that's when people needed to learn to work differently every day. And um, has been probably one of our biggest jumps. So I think this being the 11th year of Global Accessibility Awareness Day, the idea that it might turn into Global Accessibility Action Day sounds good, because after you've brought the awareness out enough, you want to normalize and have people, regularly consider the obstacles we put up in the digital world and how best to remove them so we can help each other. So that's my inclusion and diversity piece for being in tech. But
That was
yeah, I think,
incredible.
oh,
Oh, hi, Wendy, hi, Anna.
hi.
Sorry, my
Hi,
mic was
everyone.
before.
Happy to hear from you. You can turn on your camera also if you want.
Um,
Or not if you don't want. It's up to you.
okay, sure.
Yeah,
Um,
just saying that it's an option.
yeah, but it's great to be here, and I would like to ask, like you were saying about the certifications. I guess like Google, certification
Yeah,
programs.
let me find the article. I recently shared it um, about the certificates that are available. Basically, wherever you work, you can ask your HR person or whoever is in charge of that. They can create an account and request access to this from Google, and every company can have up to 500, and of course they can have more if they're some huge corporation, but this is available for everyone now for free. Let me find the article for that. And then in terms of the Google Cloud certification, we always have cloud strategians, but recently we started working together with Google to do a Google Skill Boost
Yeah.
program where it's going to be more structured, where people who want to get certified, they're going to have a path, learning path to that, and we're going to be having a series of events for that, so stay tuned. If you're here, you must be subscribed to GDG NYC.
Of course.
So we are going to be announcing those soon. um, and let me look for that article. But basically, like I said, they're called Google Career Certificates,
Yeah,
and
like
um,
these are
they're all on
available on
Coursera.
Coursera. Yeah,
Google, I'm sorry?
these are available on Coursera, right?
Yes, they are available on Coursera. I'm not sure if they're available just if you can straightforward sign up for free on Coursera. But
Oh, yeah.
here is the link. But like I said, Google recently announced that they're making this available for free for any company that requests them. So as you can
Um,
see, there's digital marketing, data analytics, project management. There's 6 of them already. UX design, IT support, and IT automation. So those are all professional certificate. I still see on Coursera it says that you get a free trial. So if you want to get it entirely free, then you should go that route that I was talking about, from your company requesting them.
I was
Actually,
going
Um,
to
Anna,
say,
I have already.
I'm sorry, go on.
yes.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I
I have
interrupted.
already signed up. It's okay. So can I share my screen and show you?
Of course.
Okay, 1 minute. Please let me know if my screen is visible.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the way to do this is actually is go to grow. It's to go to grow with Google, and this is how you can qualify. Um, Here is the
Yes.
link. I'm gonna share the link here. So it's actually through grow with Google. Oh, did you already start one of those,
Yeah,
Andrea?
yeah,
That's what
yes.
she's
I
saying.
have, yes. I have actually enrolled for like 3 of them. So I'm currently doing this course, Technical Support Fundamentals, but it seems ki, like when I'm going to complete this quiz on, which is on week 3, it's not like I can't submit this quiz. Like I think there's an internal issue. Um,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's saying ki upgrade to submit.
Oh,
I
right. So it probably requires a subscription.
yeah, I didn't know
Okay.
about that.
So this still requires a subscription, but if you are you employed right now?
No, I'm a student. I'm in
Oh, you're a
college.
student. Oh, you're a student. I
So
wonder how
Anna,
that works for
is it
students.
is it possible to find somebody who does outreach at Google who works with students? So we could get a name to contact her, because she went into Coursera herself. And if Google is offering something or a free way for students to
Right.
get started, we need a
Yeah, you can
contact with
apply for a
Google.
scholarship. I mean, but this is so. That last link I sent from Grow with Google is for employers to apply for scholarship for their employees, but you need a business and employee identification number. Um,
This is for a student,
I'll
though. She needs a
definitely,
different contact.
yeah, for students. I'll have to ask the Google team we work with, and let me get you information if you want to share your email or anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure, sure. Can I
um,
share my email in the chat?
of course, of course.
Okay.
Um,
Or you can
oh,
DM
CM,
her
I
if you
see.
want.
Thank you everyone for joining. We're pretty
We're
much
way over.
completed what we have to do. I think we had the hours scheduled, so we wanted to spend some time connecting with the community and answering your questions. But Andrea, I got your email, and
Yeah.
I will get back to you. I will ask, but definitely check out Grow with Google if they have scholarships for students. If they have scholarship for employers, I mean students. So I'll definitely follow up with you on that.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Okay. I don't know if you want to stop
But yeah,
recording
please,
or
but please check. Yes, please, Andrea, Google the Grow with Google link, and if they have some kind of info for scholarships for students, then that may be there as well. But I'll follow up as well. So yeah, I
Sure,
think
I'll
we
check.
can stop the recording at this point. I'll stop the recording, and